Good evening, everybody, and welcome again to another Adventures quiz. I'm going to start by saying I apologise for scheduling a quiz on a Saturday, because I don't know about you, but it's completely thrown me. The only way I knew what day it was in the week is because of my quizzes, and now I feel like it's Friday. But not that it matters, because I'm not going anywhere, but yeah, I'll continue just on Fridays from now, but this was just a one-off. I scheduled it today because if anybody else is missing the football like I am, I should have been at the last game of the season today, because yes, the Albion are in the Championship. Should have been at the last game today, but unfortunately, obviously, we're not. So I thought instead we'll do a bit of a sports quiz to keep ourselves entertained. So I hope a lot of you have joined in at home with your shirts. Doesn't have to be football, can be rugby, cricket, any sport at all. Afterwards, if you want to, send me the pictures of you in your shirts, put them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. I'd like to see them. So welcome again. And tonight, as I say, is a question of sport. It's going to be the same format as all my other quizzes. So it's 8 rounds of 10 questions. I will let you know what the title of the round is before we start. And then once a round has finished, I will give you the answers straight away after the round. I will give you a couple of minutes to think of some of your answers, but I will do the answers straight away. So let's make a start, shall we? So number 1 is a general sports round. So with some of these rounds, I have tried to tailor them similar to the programme. But obviously there are only a certain amount of quiz rounds that I can do without needing video footage or photographs and things like that. So I've done what I can to tailor it to the programme. But we'll see how we go. So number 1, round 1, general sports questions. Number 1, which sport was added to the 1984 Summer Olympics? So which sport was added to the 1984 Summer Olympics? Number 2. Now there's 4 points available for this question. So I'm giving you a high scoring question already. Number 2. In which 4 countries are the 4 yearly tennis Grand Slams held? So number 2 is in which 4 countries are the 4 yearly tennis Grand Slams held? Number 3. What do the 5 rings on the Olympic flag represent? What do the 5 rings on the Olympic flag represent? Number 4. Valentino Rossi stood out in which sport? Valentino Rossi stood out in which sport? Number 5. Which cyclist wrote the book Not About the Bike? So which cyclist wrote the book Not About the Bike? Number 6. Who won the 2010 FIFA World Cup? So number 6 is who won the 2010 FIFA World Cup? Number 7. In basketball, it's called a tip-off. In football, a kick-off. What is it called in ice hockey? Again, number 7. In basketball, it's called a tip-off. In football, a kick-off. What is it called in ice hockey? Number 8. In darts, what is the lowest score that cannot be scored with a single dart? So in darts, what is the lowest score that cannot be scored with a single dart? Number 9. Which English football club was originally known as Newton Heath? Which English football club was originally known as Newton Heath? And number 10. In cricket scoring, what does C and B stand for? So number 10, in cricket scoring, what does C and B stand for? I'll give you a couple of moments to get your answers together for those. And in the meantime, just to let you know, if you haven't joined us before, the questions to the quiz will be posted to the Facebook event after each round. So I've just posted round 1 if you missed any of the questions. And then later on, after the quiz has been completed, the questions and answers packs are uploaded onto my website for you to be able to download. So if you miss anything at all, you can catch up. So if I keep looking this way tonight, it's because I'm posting the questions on as well. I'm multitasking this evening. Okay, the answers to round 1. Number 1, the sport that was added to the 1984 Summer Olympics was synchronised swimming. The 4 countries that the 4 yearly tennis Grand Slams are held is the USA, France, England and Australia. So you can get a point per correct answer on that one. Number 3, what do the 5 rings on the Olympic flag represent? It's continents. Number 4, Valentino Rossi stood out in MotoGP. Number 5, which cyclist wrote the book Not About the Bike? It's Lance Armstrong. Number 6, who won the 2010 FIFA World Cup? It is Spain. Number 7, in basketball it's a tip-off, in football a kick-off. What is it in ice hockey? It's a face-off. Number 8, in darts, what is the lowest score that cannot be scored with a single dart? It's 23. Bit of maths for you there as well. Number 9, which English football club was originally known as Newton Heath? It was Manchester United. And number 10, in cricket scoring, what does C and B stand for? It's caught and bowled. So I hope you did well on the first round. I didn't do any shout outs at the end of that round, purely because I don't have that many to do tonight, but there are a couple. So if you have asked me to do a shout out, just keep listening and I will be doing it. So round 2 is all about home and away. So this is very similar to the questions that they do on the show. So the first 5 questions are all about sports within the UK. The second 5 questions are all about sport in a different country. So I know on the programme they do the celebrity sport and then a sport that's not their own. But obviously you've all got various sports. So instead I've done 5 questions within the UK and 5 questions outside of the UK. So for the 5 questions within the UK, you get 1 point for the correct answer. For the 5 questions for any other country, you get 2 points for a correct answer. So I will remind you of that after I give all the answers. But the first 5, 1 point, second 5, 2 points. So number 1, who is the only person to have won Sports Personality of the Year 3 times? Who is the only person to have won Sports Personality of the Year 3 times? Number 2, Church Road, London, SW19 is the address for which internationally known sporting location? So Church Road, London, SW19 is the address for which internationally known sporting location? Number 3, who was the England manager in charge when England won the World Cup? Number 3, who was the England manager in charge when England won the World Cup? Number 4, which English racecourse hosts the yearly Grand National horse race? So number 4 is which English racecourse hosts the yearly Grand National horse race? Number 5, who bowled the super over for England in the Cricket World Cup final 2019? So who bowled the super over for England in the Cricket World Cup final 2019? Okay, so the next 5 questions, as I said, are all about other countries, not the UK. So number 6, what is the national sport in Japan? What is the national sport in Japan? Number 7, how many FIFA World Cups have been won by teams from Asia? How many FIFA World Cups have been won by teams from Asia? Number 8, for which Australian sport would you find teams like Melbourne Storm, Brisbane Broncos and Canberra Raiders? So for which Australian sport would you find the teams like Melbourne Storm, Brisbane Broncos and Canberra Raiders? Number 9, what are Inter Milan's jersey colours when they play home fixtures? What are Inter Milan's jersey colours when they play home fixtures? And finally, number 10, how many teams were in the Tour de France 2019? How many teams were in the Tour de France 2019? I'll give you a few minutes to get your answers together. The questions have just been posted to the Facebook event if you missed any. And I will do a shout out or 2 after this round. So, I just want to say happy anniversary to Kaylee and Dave. And hello to Dawn and Pat. Welcome to your first quiz with me, Pat. And I believe I've just had a photograph of you in a Barcelona shirt. So welcome. I haven't looked at the photo yet, but I will after the quiz. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, answers to round 2. Number 1, who's the only person to have won Sports Personality of the Year 3 times? It's Andy Murray. Number 2, Church Road, London, SW19 is the address of Wimbledon. Number 3, the England manager in charge when England won the World Cup was Alf Ramsey. The English racecourse that hosts the Grand National is Aintree. The bowler that bowled the super over for England in the Cricket World Cup final 2019 was Jofra Archer. Number 6. So again, for those first five, mark yourself 1 point if you've got the right answer. Number 6. What the national sport in Japan is, it is sumo wrestling. Number 7, how many FIFA World Cups have been won by teams from Asia? It's actually 0. Bit of a trick question there. Number 8, the Australian sport that has teams of Melbourne Storm, Brisbane Broncos and Canberra Raiders is the National Rugby League, or the NRL. Number 9, what are the Inter Milan's jersey colours when they play at home? It's blue and black. And how many teams were in the Tour de France 2019? It was 22, and they each had 8 riders, but it was 22 teams. So for those last 5 questions, if you've got an answer right, give yourself 2 points. Per question, obviously. Okay. Round 3 is slightly different, and it also is slightly, it's trying to be part of the programme again. So it's name the celebrity star. Now obviously I can't play a video behind me to show you a celebrity star, but I can describe them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 clues, and you need to tell me, or tell yourselves, because I won't know what you've said, but you need to write down which celebrity star you think that is. So I'll give you 3 clues. So number 1, it's quite an easy one, I think, and related to the show. So Grand Slam winning tennis player, Wimbledon coverage, question of sport host. Grand Slam winning tennis player, Wimbledon coverage, question of sport host. So all you need to do is write down who you think that is. Number 2, double Olympic gold, Virgin Media marathon runner. Double Olympic gold, Virgin Media marathon runner. Number 3, Leicester City, match of the day, Walker's Crisps. There's an easy one for you. Leicester City, match of the day, Walker's Crisps. Number 4, Manchester United, 4 children, Inter Miami. Manchester United, 4 children, Inter Miami. Number 5, bit of an old one for you here. New York Yankees, Hall of Fame, died in 1948. So New York Yankees, Hall of Fame, died in 1948. Number 6, 8 Olympic medals, Tour de France, CBE. 8 Olympic medals, Tour de France, CBE. Number 7, New Zealand, England vice-captain, OBE. New Zealand, England vice-captain, OBE. Number 8, New Zealand, England vice-captain, OBE. 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 New Zealand, Number 8, 6-time world champion, British Mercedes. Again, number 8, 6-time world champion, British Mercedes. Number 9, Portugal, the number 7, Juventus. Portugal, the number 7, Juventus. And finally, number 10, world number 1, Northern Ireland, Nike. World number 1, Northern Ireland, Nike. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to finalise your answers on those. And in the meantime, I want to just say hello to the Crofts family. Thank you for joining me this evening. And hello to Sophie, Ollie and Chris. I hope you are all enjoying the quiz and getting lots of answers right. And we will go into the answers to round 3. So, number 1, the Grand Slam winning tennis player, Wimbledon coverage and question of sport host was of course Sue Barker. Number 2, double Olympic gold Virgin Media marathon runner was Mo Farah. Number 3, Leicester City match of the day Walker's Crisps was of course Gary Lineker. Number 4, Manchester United 4 children into Miami was David Beckham. Number 5, New York Yankees Hall of Fame died in 1948 was Babe Ruth. Number 6, 8 Olympic medals Tour de France CBE was Bradley Wiggins. Number 7, New Zealand England vice captain OBE was Ben Stokes. Number 8, 6-time world champion British Mercedes was Lewis Hamilton. Number 9, Portugal, the number 7 Juventus was Cristiano Ronaldo. And number 10, world number 1 Northern Ireland Nike is Rory McIlroy. Okay, round 4. Now this is another slightly different one. Tonight I haven't just done your average questions. I've tried to mix it up a little bit for you. So round 4 is what am I watching? So I'm going to give you either 2 teams or a sporting venue, and you have to tell me what sport I'm watching if I'm watching those 2 teams or I'm at that venue. So if I am watching the Derbyshire Falcons and the Birmingham Bears, what sport am I watching? So Derbyshire Falcons and Birmingham Bears. Number 2, what am I watching if I'm at New York Stadium? What am I watching if I'm at New York Stadium? Number 3, what sport am I watching if I'm watching Manchester Thunder versus Loughborough Lightning? So what sport am I watching if I'm watching Manchester Thunder against Loughborough Lightning? Number 4, what sport am I watching if I'm at Fenway Park? So what sport am I watching if I'm at Fenway Park? Number 5, what am I watching if I'm watching Sheffield Wednesday versus Brentford? What am I watching if I'm watching Sheffield Wednesday versus Brentford? Number 6, what sport am I watching if I'm at the Alexandra Palace? What sport am I watching if I am at the Alexandra Palace? Number 7, what sport am I watching if I'm watching the Warrington Wolves versus the Tornado Wolf Pack? What am I watching if I'm watching the Warrington Wolves versus the Toronto Wolf Pack? Number 8, what sport am I watching if I'm at the Rod Laver Arena? What sport am I watching if I'm at the Rod Laver Arena? Number 9, what am I watching if I'm watching the Charlotte Hornets versus Chicago Bulls? What am I watching if I'm watching the Charlotte Hornets versus the Chicago Bulls? And finally, number 10, what am I watching if I'm at St Andrews? What am I watching if I'm at St Andrews? I'll give you a couple of minutes to get your answers together. That's all you're getting for that one. I think that's quite an easy round, so I'm not going to give you too long. So, the answers to round number 4 is if I'm watching Derbyshire Falcons and Birmingham Bears, I'm watching cricket. If I'm at the New York Stadium, I'm watching football. If I'm watching Manchester Thunder and Loughborough Lightning, I'm watching netball. If I'm at Fenway Park, I'm watching baseball. If I'm watching Sheffield Wednesday and Brentford, I'm watching football. I realise there's 2 football ones in there, but I'm a football fan. Number 6, what am I watching if I'm at Alexandra Palace? It's darts. If I'm watching Warrington Wolves and Toronto Wolf Pack, I'm watching rugby league. If I'm at the Rod Laver Arena, I'm watching tennis. If I'm watching the Charlotte Hornets versus the Chicago Bulls, I'm watching basketball. And number 10, if I'm at St Andrews, I'm watching golf. Now you can, if you want to, it's up to you guys, but I didn't say St Andrews Stadium, but if you wanted to have football, you can, if you've said that for Birmingham City. But the main answer is golf. Okay, on to round number 5. Now this one is slightly more challenging. Now you know me, if you've been on one of my quizzes before, I don't make them that easy. I always throw a curveball in and have a couple of hard questions. So this round is going to get your thinking caps on. Get your mind ticking. It's name the year. Name the year. So, number 1. In which year did Nico Rosberg win the Formula 1 World Championship with Mercedes? So, in which year did Nico Rosberg win the Formula 1 World Championship with Mercedes? Number 2. In which year did Maradona score a goal with his hand? In which year did Maradona score a goal with his hand? Number 3. Birmingham in the UK will be hosting the Commonwealth Games in what year? So Birmingham in the UK will be hosting the Commonwealth Games in what year? Number 4. In which year was the first FA Cup final played? So number 4, in which year was the first FA Cup final played? Number 5, in which year did Usain Bolt gain a world record time for 100 metres? In which year did Usain Bolt gain a world record time for 100 metres? Number 6. Simona Halep won Wimbledon in which year? Simona Halep won Wimbledon in what year? Number 7. Leeds United were the first non-Premier League side for 23 years to knock Manchester United out of the FA Cup, but in which year? Quite a hard one, that one. Leeds United were the first non-Premier League side for 23 years to knock Manchester United out of the FA Cup, in which year? Number 8. In what year did Tiger Woods win his first Masters title? So in what year did Tiger Woods win his first Masters title? Number 9. In what year did Torvill and Dean win Olympic gold? In what year did Torvill and Dean win Olympic gold? And number 10, in what year was Question of Sport first aired? So number 10, in what year was Question of Sport first aired? I will give you a couple of minutes to get your answers together for that because it was quite a difficult round. So in the meantime, I will do a couple of shout outs. So, shout out to Ellis from Sid Cup, and he said he looks forward to seeing you very soon. I understand that you aren't together at the moment because of this horrible situation. So I hope you are together again soon. A shout out to Matthew Castle, who should have been on his stag do this weekend. Sorry, Matthew. You're going to have to just deal with my quiz on a Saturday night instead. See, I almost said Friday night then. I'm completely thrown. But I hope you enjoy your stag do when you do finally get onto it, Matthew. And a shout out to the Super Statos and all of the Edwards family. Thank you for joining us this evening, and I hope you're enjoying the quiz. Let's get back to the answers to round number 5. So, number 1. In which year did Nico Rosberg win the Formula 1 Championship with Mercedes? It was 2016. Number 2. In which year did Maradona score a goal with his hand? It was 1986. Number 3. Birmingham in the United Kingdom is going to host the Commonwealth Games in what year? It's 2022. 2022. Number 4. In which year was the first FA Cup final played? It was 1872. Number 5. In which year did Usain Bolt gain a world record time for 100 metres? It was 2009. Number 6. Simona Halep won Wimbledon in which year? It was last year, 2019. Number 7, Leeds United were the first non-Premier League side for 23 years to knock Manchester United out of the FA Cup in 2010. Number 8, in what year did Tiger Woods first win his Masters title? Win his first Masters title. It was 1997. Number 9, in what year did Torvill and Dean win Olympic gold? It was 1984. And number 10, in what year was Question of Sport first aired? It was 1970. So there was a few tough ones in that round, and you might not like me very much in this next one either. No, you will. This round 6 is all about stateside. So it's all about questions from the other side of the pond. So, number 1. How many Super Bowls has Tom Brady won? How many Super Bowls has Tom Brady won? Number 2. How many Canadian soccer teams are in the MLS? So how many Canadian soccer teams are in the MLS? So for that one, I just want the number of teams, but if you can name any of the 3 teams, you could get some bonus points. Number 3. What number did Michael Jordan wear for the Chicago Bulls? What number did Michael Jordan wear for the Chicago Bulls? Number 4. Who was the last American to reach the Wimbledon men's finals? And a bonus point, what year? So number 4 is who was the last American to reach the Wimbledon men's finals, and a bonus point for what year? Number 5. What are the Dallas Cowboys often called? What are the Dallas Cowboys often called? Number 6. There are 2 possible points for this one as well. New York City has 2 major baseball teams. What are their names? So New York City has 2 major baseball teams. What are their names? Number 7. This NBA's team's uniform is purple and gold, and their logo is the team name in slanted purple letters superimposed over a gold basketball. Who are they? So this NBA's team's uniform is purple and gold, and their logo is the team name in slanted purple letters superimposed over a gold basketball. Who are they? Number 8. At which major golf tournament is a green jacket awarded to the winner? At which major golf tournament is a green jacket awarded to the winner? Number 9. Sports announcer Michael Buffer was best known for saying what phrase at the start of a boxing match? Sports announcer Michael Buffer was best known for saying what phrase at the start of a boxing match? And finally, number 10, in what sport is the Stanley Cup awarded? In what sport is the Stanley Cup awarded? While you get your answers together, I will just do another couple of shout outs. So, happy wedding anniversary to Nicole and Sean Hutchinson. Hope you're having a lovely day. And happy 8th birthday to Kit. Lots of love from your mum, dad and sister. Happy birthday, Kit. Hope you have a lovely birthday. And another wedding anniversary. Happy wedding anniversary to Kaylee and Dave. Another Kaylee and Dave. I've got 2 Kaylee and Daves tonight. How strange. So, yeah, they're the last couple of shout outs for now. And we will go into the answers to round 6. So, round 6. Question 1. How many Super Bowls has Tom Brady won? It's 6. How many Canadian soccer teams are in the MLS? It's 3. And for bonus points, you can give yourself 1 point per team if you've got them. It's Toronto, Vancouver Whitecaps and Montreal Impact. So it's Toronto FC, Vancouver Whitecaps and Montreal Impact. Number 3. What number did Michael Jordan wear for the Chicago Bulls? It was number 23. Number 4. Who was the last American to reach the Wimbledon men's finals? It was Andy Roddick. And the year was 2009. Number 5. What are the Dallas Cowboys often called? It's America's team. That was a hard one, so I'm really sorry about that one. But it was America's team. And 2 possible answers to number 6. It was New York City has 2 major baseball teams. What are their names? It's the Yankees and the Mets. The NBA team whose uniform is purple and gold was the Los Angeles Lakers. Or the LA Lakers, however you want to put it. Number 8, what major golf tournament is the Green Jacket awarded? It's the US Masters. Sports announcer Michael Buffer was best known for Let's Get Ready to Rumble. And number 10, in what sport is the Stanley Cup awarded? It is ice hockey. Okay. Round 7, again, not just your average round. It's a higher or lower round. So, for the first question, I'm just going to ask you a question and you just got to give the number. And then you need to then go through. So I will give you the first one. You need to put down the number. The second one, I will ask you if you think number 2 is higher or lower than number 1. And then you need to put your answer. So, I hope that makes sense. For the first question, you've got 1 possible point. For every subsequent question, you've got 2 possible points. Because you will then say whether it's higher or lower than the previous answer, and you'll get a point for the number that you provide if you get it right. So, number 1. How many runs are scored in cricket if the ball goes over the boundary without touching the ground? So how many runs are scored in cricket if the ball goes over the boundary without touching the ground? Number 2. So do you think the answer to this question is higher or lower than your previous answer? And what do you think it is? So, higher or lower, the Grand National held at Aintree is raced over what distance in miles? So the Grand National held at Aintree is raced over what distance in miles? Number 3. Do you think this answer is higher or lower than your previous answer? So do you think it's higher or lower than question 2? How many lanes are there on an Olympic athletics track? How many lanes are there on an Olympic athletics track? Number 4. Do you think this is higher or lower than question 3? In a standard game of darts, what is the minimum number of darts required to finish from 501, finishing on a double? So in a standard game of darts, what is the minimum number of darts required to finish from 501, finishing on a double? Number 5. Do you think this is higher or lower than question number 4? In a game of snooker, how many balls in total are used? In a game of snooker, how many balls in total are used? Number 6. Do you think this is higher or lower than question 5? What number shirt did Pele used to wear for Brazil? So what number shirt did Pele used to wear for Brazil? Number 7. Do you think this is higher or lower than question 6? How many disciplines make up a heptathlon? So how many disciplines make up a heptathlon? Number 8. Do you think this is higher or lower than question 7? How many different coloured balls are used in snooker? So I know I've asked how many balls, but how many different colours are used in snooker? Number 9. Do you think this is higher or lower than question 8? How many people play on an ice hockey team? How many people play on an ice hockey team? And finally, number 10. Do you think this is higher or lower than question 9? How many times has Michael Schumacher been a Formula 1 champion? How many times has Michael Schumacher been a Formula 1 champion? I'll give you a couple of minutes to think of your answers to that round, because you might be able to work back. If you've missed any, you might be able to work back and see if you think they're higher or lower than the previous. So I'll do another couple of shout outs. So happy 60th birthday to Sharon Crofts. And also happy 60th birthday to Alex, who is 60 today. Happy birthday, Alex. Lots of love from the Woodheads. And also I want to do a couple of personal shout outs tonight as well, if you don't mind. So hello to Sue and John Biggs. Boing boing. Up the baggies, John. And hello to Ellie and Kieran in Northwich. We miss and love you loads. Love from all of us Joneses. And a special hello to Caroline and Dan. I love you guys lots. Thank you for joining me for every single quiz and for being my absolute rock. And again, up the baggies, Dan. So I just wanted to do a couple of personal shout outs tonight because people have been very supportive to me lately, so I just wanted to do that for them. So, answers to round 7. How many runs are scored in cricket if the ball goes over the boundary without touching the ground? It's 6. So, number 2. Do you think it's higher or lower than the previous? The Grand National held at Aintree is raced across what distance in miles? It's 4 miles. So if you've got 4 miles, you've got a point. If you've said lower, you've got a point. Number 3, higher or lower? How many lanes are there on an Olympic athletics track? So there are 8 lanes. So if you've got 8, you've got a point. If you've got higher, you've got a point. Number 4. In a standard game of darts, what is the minimum number of darts required to finish from 501 finishing on a double? It's 9. So it's 9 and it's higher than the previous. So if you've got 9, it's a point, and if you've got higher, it's a point. Number 5. In a game of snooker, how many balls in total are used? It's 22. So if you've got 22, you've got a point. If you've got higher, you've got a point. Number 6. What number shirt did Pele used to wear for Brazil? It was 10. So if you've got 10, it's a point. If you've got lower, it's a point. Number 7. How many disciplines make up a heptathlon? It's 7. And they are 100 metres hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200 metres, long jump, javelin throw, and 800 metres. So if you've got 7, you've got a point. If you've got lower, you've got a point. Number 8, higher or lower? How many different coloured balls are used in snooker? So I know earlier I asked how many balls. This is just how many coloured balls. And it's 8. So if you've got 8, it's a point. If you've got higher, it's a point. I hope this is making sense to everybody. Number 9, how many people play on an ice hockey team? It's 6. So if you've got 6, it's a point. If you've got lower, it's a point. And number 10, how many times has Michael Schumacher been a Formula 1 champion? It's 7. So if you've got 7, it's a point. And if you've got higher, it's a point. So well done on that round. I know it was a little bit complicated, but I hope you enjoyed it. And we are now on to the final round of the evening. Round 8, which is not your average sport. So these are all sports that aren't your average, like your normal football, rugby, cricket. They're more obscure, less popular sports. So, number 1. In which sport do players with blue and black balls play against those with red and yellow balls? Keep it clean, people. Keep it clean. In which sport do players with blue and black balls play against those with red and yellow balls? Number 2. There are 3 possible answers to this. There are 3 answers to this, so there's 3 possible points. Wakeboarding was invented as a combination of 3 other sports. What are these sports? So wakeboarding was invented as a combination of 3 other sports. What are these sports? Number 3. In accordance with the National Rounders Association rules, what is the minimum number of players required for each game? No pressure there, Dan. In accordance with the National Rounders Association rules, what is the minimum number of players required for a game? Number 4. In racquetball, how many times must the ball bounce to be known as dead? So in racquetball, how many times must the ball bounce to be known as dead? Number 5. The small white or yellow ball is also named the same as a man's name. What is this? So the small white or yellow ball is also named the same as a man's name. What is this? Number 6. How many red cards are there in a pack of playing cards? How many red cards are there in a pack of playing cards? Number 7. An archery target consists of how many colours? So an archery target consists of how many colours? Number 8. Which sport involves players throwing stones at houses? So which sport involves players throwing stones at houses? Number 9. How many pins do you have to knock down to bowl a perfect 300 game? How many pins do you have to knock down to bowl a perfect 300 game? And number 10, in which sport are competitors required to change lanes after every lap? In which sport are competitors required to change lanes after every lap? I'll give you a couple of moments to get your final answers for that one. Okay, answers to round 8. Number 1, in which sport do players with blue and black balls play against those with red and yellow balls? It's croquet. Number 2, wakeboarding was invented as a combination of 3 sports, so you can have 1 point per answer for this one. It's water skiing, snowboarding and surfing. So it's water skiing, snowboarding and surfing. Number 3, in accordance with the National Rounders Association, the minimum number of players is 6. Number 4, in racquetball, how many times must the ball bounce to be known as dead? It's twice. Number 5, the small white or yellow ball is also named the same as a man's name. It's Jack. Number 6, how many red cards are there in a pack of playing cards? It's 26. Number 7, an archery target consists of how many colours? It's 5. So it's white, black, blue, red and gold. Number 8, which sport involves players throwing stones at houses? It's curling. And number 9, how many pins do you have to knock down to bowl a perfect 300 game? It's 120. And number 10, in which sport are competitors required to change lanes after every lap? It's speed skating. Speed skating. So that is the end of another one of our quizzes. They go so quickly. So I just want to thank you all for taking part again this evening. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Just to let you all know as well, we have almost raised £130,000 for the NHS, which is absolutely brilliant. So if you haven't donated and you still wish to, please do so. And I just want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart for joining me every week. It keeps me sane as well as you guys. It keeps me busy. So thank you very much for keep joining me. And just another one as well. I now have this new board behind me for all the quizzes. I am doing some tailored quizzes as well for birthdays and things. And I put banners and balloons up and pictures of people when I'm doing the personalised ones. But for these kind of quizzes, if you've got any ideas of anything you'd like to see behind there, because these quizzes are as much yours as they are mine. In fact, they're more yours than they are mine. So if there's anything you'd want behind here, if there's any special birthdays and you'd want a picture of the person behind me, anything like that, just inbox me and let me know what you'd like to see behind me. It is Velcro, so I can attach pretty much anything to it. So just let me know, inbox me and let me know if you've got any ideas. And the only other thing I've got to say is, as with all my other quizzes, if you've got a tie within your house, I do have a tiebreaker question. I will give you the question now, but after I finish the quiz, I will go over to the Facebook event and I will put the question and the answer. So I won't give the answer now, so it gives you a little bit of time to have a think. But I will put the answer on the Facebook event. I'm pointing over there because that's where my laptop is. So the tiebreaker question is, how many balls are used at the Wimbledon Championships each year? So how many balls are used at the Wimbledon Championships every year? So as I said, after this, I will go onto the Facebook event and post all the answers. So all that's left to say is thank you guys for joining me. And boing boing up the baggies for any baggies fans out there. And hope you've enjoyed it. Keep staying safe, guys. And we will see you again next week. Take care, guys. Thank you. Bye.